One of the big things that we wanted to focus on was proactive ways to help families and their children participate in the museum. So one way that we tried to do that was through creating sensory maps. So when you normally come to a museum, you'll receive a map of kind of what the exhibits look like, where they are in the building, where they're placed. What we wanted to do was also include important sensory inputs and outputs that people might be experiencing in the museum in those exhibits. So for example, we had icons indicating high light, low light areas, places with a lot of noise, places with a lot of tactile sensory experiences or gross motor movement. We wanted to do this and provide it at the front doors of the museum so that right when you walk in, every family is attuned to the idea that we all have different sensory inputs and we process this information differently.
So these backpacks are a resource for families and kiddos to bring into the museum with them. They have a weighted stuffed animal inside. A kiddo can wear it on their back as part of like a grounding for them, or a parent can carry it around the museum as well. They all are meant to cover different areas in sensory and sensory regulation. So these resources cover kind of some of the big areas that kiddos may struggle with coming back into the museum. A big one that we see is noise, especially, which is why we have noise canceling headphones. It gets really echoey in here sometimes. So having that noise canceling is definitely something important that we wanted to add in there, along with sunglasses for light and just different tactile things for kids to have as they move throughout the museum.
And I was part of the research team that helped design the sensory room here at the Children's Museum. My part specifically was helping design the layout and the structure of the room. An important part of that was this cool down corner. Here we have a canopy for children to come when they get overwhelmed within the museum. It opens up here. They have the opportunity to sit and re-regulate. And we've also provided feeling charts, a mirror, so they can kind of check in with themselves, look at their facial expression, figure out and identify their feelings so that they are able to re-regulate and use other tools within the room to re-enter the museum when they're ready.
So we have these balls here that the students can roll on, sit on, bounce on, however they need to get out more of that large motor energy out. And then we also have this bounce board that they can jump on without, like, it's similar to a trampoline, but more controlled in this small environment. Then over here, this is more for those that are overwhelmed from the museum. And so they can go in there and have a spot all to themselves.
So inside this cabinet, we have a list of all the materials you can find to help students reintegrate into the museum and to support their sensory needs. So starting here on this shelf, we have some scented bracelets. So there's a lot of research that scent can help calm students down, refocus their attention. So we have that to support students. And then we have these calm down jars that they move like this. So students have something to focus on, something to put their energy into, help them get ready to reintegrate.
Then on this shelf, we have some fidgets that the students or the children can use in here that they can kind of just play with while they're in the room. And then there's also some sunglasses too that the students can use to help block out some of the light. And then on the bottom shelf here, there's some weighted lap blankets that the students can put on their lap to kind of regroup.
To think that there's still going to be kids here every day coming in, using the tools that we researched and put in there is just so awesome. Like, I still can't even believe that sometimes we were like a part of this.
This has been a wonderful experience. I think a lot of times research is thought to happen in a lab and be very clinical. Being able to interact with all of my classmates and professors and see the impact that my research has and just how closely it impacts community members, students, and how that will translate into future opportunities for me to effect more change was really exciting.